Oh, hey everybody. I have to make this video for a second time. Actually, this is the third time me trying to make this video. My phone keeps shutting off by itself, so I have to have the cord plugged in. Um, okay. I don't know why my phone decides, hey, I don't want you to have a video of your car, but we're going to try this again. Okay, everybody. You know this. It is Bacon, the station wagon, the bacon tank. We've been working on this thing for 3 years. It's got a L98 350 out of a 91 Suburban, two-wheel drive. It's stock, 190 horsepower, 200 and something foot-pounds of torque. I put a kind of medium high intake on it. Edelbrock 750 on top, way too large, but it'll work. It does work, actually. It sits there in idles. I couldn't put the headers on it, if you remember, but don't worry about this right here. This is just holding the radiator back. Trans lines are hooked up in it. Fuel's hooked up in it. I've got my handy dandy fuel pump, which is some speaker wire going all the way back to the fuel pump, which I put in my electronic fuel pump that I got from Summit. I tied it into the old emissions, and I know that checking from my Haynes or Chilton's book or whatever, that I have power going to that only when it's running and starting and running. So it's not going to just push fuel all day long when the key's off. So I don't even need to make a switch. I found a nice little spot in the timing in the last video that got destroyed. Even got to see me play with the idle and that at the same time, just to get it to sit in a nice spot. It actually kind of revved up a little bit, so I had to take the idle screw back down. It was all because of the timing. I got to get a light on it and get that cinched down. My power steering pulley I still need to replace, because as you can see, that's pretty much destroyed. I have the power steering line sitting in the garage. Everything else is okay. The flywheel pulley, or the crank pulley here, that I'll probably bump the key and take like a wire wheel to it, just so it'd clean it up a little bit. Probably clean all of them up. Well, at least these two, because these are all plastic. Well, except for that guy, that's metal, but that's smooth, so I'm not worried about that. Don't worry about wiring management. It smokes only very little, and the only reason it actually smokes is because of the amount. You could see it. See how there's oil here and there's no oil here? They're drying themselves up because all they've been doing is just chilling on the floor of the garage for the last few years. Here, let's go take a look at that real quick. Yeah, see this like dirty, greasy mess of stuff that won't focus? See this dirty, greasy mess of stuff that I have all over the place? My temporary table, my work table, and everything else is right here. There's a couple little bits and pieces you can see that they're kind of tucked away, but yeah, so that's what I'm working with. And I really wanted to make this video because of the thing that it can do now, which is, I don't know, run. And speaking of running, let's pull out our keys. Don't forget, kiss my butt. Got a couple keys here. Got a Ford Ranger key and station wagon keys. The most important keys you could ever have. Fuel pump comes on. Oh, didn't even need to pump it. hear a noise. Should probably go check that out. Well, everybody, that's the station wagon running. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's such a lovely, lovely sound. Well, give her one more good send right here, and then we'll shut her down. One more time. Oh, that is so nice. Well, okay. A couple of things that are on the agenda for future repairs of the station wagon. One, stop doing crotch shots. I'm trying to get a lighter out of my pocket. Two, I have to do the brakes. The front ones are a little locked up, a little rusted over from sitting for so long. It needs new rotors and pads. And I know the calipers are new. I replaced those. The wheel cylinders in the back, those need to be replaced too. Or no, those don't need to be replaced. The springs and stuff will probably need to be replaced. In the shoes too, but probably not the wheel cylinders, and definitely not the calipers. Yeah. Sounds healthy. It's got a little bit of a little misfire. Little misfire, right? But it already has a name. That's also there for, that extra surge of energy. I'm feeling good about myself. I was taking care of some of the wiring. That's the other reason why it's actually running under its own power. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I hate doing wiring. So that I actually went through and I cut out all of the old emissions wiring. That was a good step. I'm gonna get a more permanent solution for the fuel pump. The negative on the fuel pump comes with an eyelet already crimped on the end of it. So I'm thinking that they just want you to put that on the frame. Alright, I'll just grind down a spot with a wire wheel and jam a self-tapper on there and call it a day. Put a little coat of spray paint on it. Also, I will just go out and buy a spool of wire, because I don't trust any of this old stuff. I'll go out and buy a spool of wire, and I'll run that from the fuel pump up to one of these wires, because I have it off the emission stuff that's only run when hot. So if I take that to its source, then I don't have to run it currently where it's at with vice grips. Oh yeah, didn't show you that. Maybe I did, I don't know. I have the fuel pump right now running all the way back to the back of the car, to where the fuel pump is, right in front of the passenger wheel over there on the frame. I zip tied it in, because that's what you do. Roadkill. I used 4 zip ties. They're 50-pound tensile strength apiece, so I have 200 pounds of protection holding that fuel pump in, so I don't feel like it's going anywhere. This right here, this tube right here, that's old AC line. I knocked out a bunch of old flaky Freon or whatever out of it. Besides that, it's got 2 fuel filters on it up here, because of how insanely actually they're not dirty. They're just a little murky, but they're not dirty, which is good for having the car sit for 3 years. And I don't think I really had any gas sitting in this thing, so there wasn't a lot of stuff to be sitting on the bottom. And also, that's a 750 CFM carb, so that thing is technically made for an engine that makes a couple more 100 horsepower than this, but it works out just fine, because with these 2 filters in place and the fuel pump that I have on there only being a 7 gallon or 4 to 7 psi electric fuel pump I got at Summit 2, Mostly everything I got was either from Summit or from AutoZone. I hardly ever go to OOOs, and I don't go to Advanced either. I usually just get my stuff from Summit and AutoZone, and mix and match those together, and I'm generally pretty happy. Uh, yeah, got to do that power steering pulley and the lines. Get these cleaned up on their pulleys, and then I could put the belt on. I have a couple of lengths of hose and some little fitter pieces in the middle for the middle. So I'm gonna try to see what I can do about that, because I have to be able to get over that bar and not cut itself on that, and also that pulley. The tensioner pulley is gonna eventually, have to be a tensioner pulley. So we'll see what happens there. Um, Anything else before we go? Besides that, don't worry, that'll get taken care of. I don't want my car catching on fire. And don't worry about that green zip tie either, even though that thing is working mint for holding on the throttle cable. I have to work out the TV cable though. The TV cable, the throttle valve cable needs to go down here, but there's no thingy here, so I have to go find me a little nut with a ball on the end of it so that'll pop on. But I thought I'd just show you guys my progress, because I bet if whoever's been following this car has been wanting to hear it run for a while, wondering if I was even ever going to get it working again. And here you go. Can't can't call me crazy. You can call me crazy, I guess. Don't call me boring. Right? Yeah, there's that too. I've heard that's been seen in an old video. I needed to start off a couple of cans of spray paint, so I was like, yep, make a little angry face nobody will ever see on the radiator. Um, well, alrighty. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Uh, Tune in. Keep tuning in, because this is going to have its day pretty soon. Also, I need to do the shifter. When I do I have the lever on the transmission. I swapped out for the kit one, and I put the bracket for the cable that holds the cable in place. I put that on the transmission too. Sorry I didn't take a video of that, but I don't have a lot of room under there, and also it took like 5 minutes. You just literally take out 2 transmission bolts and put the thing in place, and then you take off the 1 bolt for the gear selector and then slide the new one on and put the nut back on. It's really nothing. The only thing I need to do is to put the actual shift mechanism in, the actual shifter, drill a hole in the floor, 4 or 5 holes in the floor, 1 for the cable and 4 for the mounting holes, and then I can put the shifter in there, and then I will have gears. Probably need some tires too, but you know what? Thin ball tires are good for smoke, so that's good. And then we can go back to concentrating on some other stuff. Once we get it roadworthy again, we can concentrate on the paint. We can get these we can get this all touched back up, get this all painted the way it's supposed to be, and then everything will be hunky dory. Cool. Well, that's it for me. Like, subscribe, and share, and beware. Later.